How you doing? Not bad. You okay? You got anything to drink today? No? Not any kind of medication or anything? So I get here and I mean you're drooling all over yourself.
What's the crime in there?
I mean, so the crime in that is you're partially obstructing the roadway.
This is the road here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of simple questions so I can conduct my investigation. All you want to do is be difficult.
I don't want to be difficult.
I mean,
you're being difficult. I was minding my own business and you're bothering me.
We wouldn't have showed up here if we didn't have a call here. Where do you live?
The relevant question?
It is. I'm literally asking you because you're sleeping in your truck. Continue to obstruct our investigation.
So here's the thing. I can leave you and let you
comply with your investigation.
You're not required to comply with our investigation?
No, I don't have to assist.
I mean, you have to answer our questions if we're conducting an investigation. Otherwise, you're obstructing our investigation.
Really, is that?
I can put you through a couple of standard field sobriety tests and see if you're good to drive. And if you are, then we'll get out of here and we'll let you drive.
We can go to the jail and we can do this in front of a judge.
Yeah, I'm not
and
sure
we can have that conversation there. So I think we should just go to Mace County Jail.
I'm going to go to the county jail for
obstruction at this point.
What's good, YouTube? It's BBcast back in with another video and another reaction. And in today's video is from the Pryor Creek Police Department over there in Oklahoma, where you had these Pryor Creek police officers, Officer Flood and Officer Bennett, approach this guy because he was sleeping in his car. It was a long drive for him and he felt sleepy, so he pulled over to go to sleep. And all because he was sleeping in his car, they thought he was intoxicated. And then on top of that, they told him that, you know, if you do some field sobriety test, you will let you on your way. He started laughing. Obviously, he was about to do it. And since he was about to do it, they arrested him for obstruction. And you're just going to see the type of BS that these officers put this guy through. I'm gonna watch it, get my reaction. Let me know what y'all think about the comment section. Let's get into the video.
Okay, Pryor, you might start master this way. This guy doesn't look like he's alert. He's got some kind of liquid coming out of his mouth, all run down his shirt. How you doing? Not bad. You okay?
Yeah, you?
Not bad. So, what's going on? You're sitting in your truck? Okay. You got anything to drink today? No? You want any kind of medication or anything?
Yeah, it's kind of a long drive. Long road ahead. Want to sleep on the road.
Where are you coming from?
Side of Oregon.
Okay, what are you doing here? What are you doing in Pryor? What brings you here?
Well, stopping on the road.
Where are you headed? North? Okay. You know anybody in Pryor, or you just happen to? Well, I mean, you're kind of pulled off here in this parking lot a little bit weird. You're a little bit in the roadway. So somebody called in on you. Is there a crime?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, standing in the roadway.
Standing in the roadway?
That's what the technical term is for it. All right, you can answer. Medical. He's awake now. Talking to him. Yeah, perfect. So I get here and I mean you're drooling all over yourself. I started medical. I knocked on your window a couple of times.
Drooling all over myself?
Look at your shirt.
True,
okay. So I started medical because I come up here and whenever I got here, you were actively drooling on yourself. And I knocked on the window, I got no response. So I knocked again.
What's the crime in there?
I mean, so the crime in that is you're partially obstructing the roadway. You're pulled off here on private property. You have no business being here, so that's loitering.
Isn't this someone who called you?
Somebody called me. I don't know who called me. Dispatch is the one who called me. Somebody called dispatch.
What property owner called?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's private property, and you have no
Well, you don't know.
business here. Well, I've asked you, and you haven't told me. So, well, I'm investigating a possible crime.
Okay.
So, if you're intoxicated, passed out behind the wheel, if you've taken something,
You're investigating if I'm intoxicated?
yeah. Like I said, you're partially obstructing the roadway. You're asleep in your vehicle, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that. If you're just taking a
So he doesn't have a problem with the main reason why he came up to this dude, but yeah, he's nitpicking at everything else.
Go ahead and step out of the vehicle for me. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. If you want to, it's up to you. You want to leave the door open or you want to shut it? No, it's up to you again. I don't care. Do you have identification on you?
No.
You do not. So what is your name and date of birth?
Andrew, A-N-D-R-U, Martin, 9/18/1980. So
What's your date of birth one more time?
Road here.
What's your date of birth one more time?
9/18/1980. So this is the road here,
Yeah, I mean,
or is this the road?
so the city maintains the roadway all the way to here, and then they have an easement over here, and then that's private property. So you're on private
I can
property.
drive in the
You have private property that you have no business being on, and then you're partially in the roadway.
Where's the easement begin?
Say it again.
The easement begin?
The easement begin?
Yeah.
I don't know where the easement
road
begins.
or ends?
I know where the road begins and ends. I
where's
don't
the
know where
road
the
begin and
easement
end?
begins and
Where's
ends.
the road begin and
Do
end?
you have a driver's license in any state?
Oh yeah.
What state do you have your driver's license in?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
Do you know where the road begins and ends? Here? I'm
It's a
being.
really weird question.
It's a weird question. Not when I'm being ticketed for parking.
You haven't been ticketed for anything. I've tried to ask you a matter of simple questions so I can conduct my investigation, and all you want to do is be difficult.
I don't want to be difficult.
I mean-
you're being difficult. I was minding my own business, and you're bothering me. I don't know how that's me being difficult.
We wouldn't have showed up here if we didn't have a call here. So on you,
Well, that's first of all, that's not true.
100%
I
it
can,
is.
so I can call on you, and that doesn't mean that someone's going to come and investigate you.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
That's exactly how this works.
Well, if I can investigate it, because he
Okay.
told me that.
You're good. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
hang
I'll be right back. All right, Mr. Martin. So, the condition that you were in whenever I got here, like I said, you were pulled off the road here asleep. Looks like, do you live at Meadow Trace Apartments?
Yeah.
You don't live there anymore? It's the address that shows on your driver's license.
Where do you live?
Nearby.
Nearby,
The address.
Is that relevant question?
It is. I'm literally asking you because you're sleeping in your truck right here, and I don't know that you're going to be safe to drive anywhere. So yeah, it's absolutely.
How would I not be safe? So am I safe to drive
what's
to
your
Meadow
address?
Trace, or am I
What's your
safe
address?
to drive to Portland or?
What's your address?
Is that, I don't know what that has to do with it.
It's going to be like this the whole time.
Yeah.
So you can continue to obstruct our
So
investigation.
here's the thing. I can leave you and let you.
comply with your investigation.
You're not required to comply with our investigation?
No, I don't have to assist you.
I mean, you have to answer our questions if we're conducting an investigation.
That's
Otherwise,
exactly-
otherwise you're obstructing our investigation.
Really? Is that how the Fifth Amendment
Mhm,
works? The
yeah.
Fourth Amendment? First Amendment? Is
Do you
that
know
how
your
this one
amendments?
works? I don't think you do.
Okay, so I can put you through a couple of standard field sobriety tests and see if you're good to drive. And if you are, then we'll get out of here and we'll let you drive. Okay? And we won't ask you any more
For
questions.
sitting in a vehicle in private property.
Somebody calling in because they were concerned about you because you were partially on the roadway.
We're a lot closer to harassment on your part than we are breaking
We can go to the jail and we can do this in front of a
I mean,
judge,
yeah, I'm not-
and
Sure,
we can have that conversation there.
I mean,
If that's what you want to do,
That's absolutely fine.
Either way, if he does that field test, we already know what's going to happen. And on top of that, these officers already feel offended that he's not answering their questions.
I'm not.
And we can have that conversation there.
I mean,
If that's what you want to do,
That's absolutely fine.
want to do that. If I wanted to do that, I would have driven to the
I don't want to do that either. If I wanted to do that,
I would have driven to a parking space and taken it down. See the difference there?
I mean, if I wanted to arrest you, then whenever you're
Activity, driving to a parking space and taking a nap or driving to a court and I said, speak to the judge.
There actually is a law against sleeping in public.
Really?
Yeah. It's
So
the
am I in
city
public
ordinance.
or am I on private
If
property?
you're at the park, like you just said,
I didn't say the park.
maybe.
I said a parking space.
okay. It's still public
I'm not on-
public
on
access.
public
So,
property.
do you live in these apartments?
Do you?
Do you live in these apartments?
Do you?
No, I don't live in these
Okay.
apartments. Do you? I answered your question. You going to answer
Well,
mine?
You're giving me a ticket for being in the road.
Have I given you a ticket yet?
Investigating? No, because you can't for being in the roadway.
I can't?
That's what you told me. Well, I mean, you could, but
I'd give you a ticket for. I could pick for being in the roadway or loitering because you're on private property that you claim to have no business being at.
well, I'm sure that I could go in front of a judge and argue my case and be fairly successful rather quickly and easily by.
And that's fine. If you want to go and argue your case in court, if you want to go argue your case in court, that's fine. But I'm not going to argue it with you here on the side of the road.
Right.
Okay? So you
You're
can.
going to give me a ticket for being unsafe when I told you exactly what I did, which was.
He's going to conduct a couple
the
of
name of
tests,
safety,
field sobriety
right?
tests. Are you willing to comply
Are you
with
willing?
those
Are you
tests?
willing to comply with some field sobriety tests?
Well, what are my options then? To go to jail or
Are
do
you
what you tell me
willing to comply with the field sobriety test?
with
That's the
incarceration?
question.
Threatening you at all?
Nobody threatened you. Nobody
I am
said
here to do my
anything.
job.
So I don't have to. Am I free to go?
No, you are
No, you're not free to go. We're still conducting our investigation. If you allow me to finish conducting my investigation, and you will,
So here's what I don't understand. I'm not refusing.
Okay.
Okay.
so you'll agree
Well,
to
I
take
don't-
the state staff?
What I don't understand is what indication that I'm intoxicated I've given at any point in this other than I drove when I sleep. Is that against the law?
It's uncommon at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for somebody
Okay,
to be asleep behind the wheel of their vehicle,
How many police
not
officers are asleep?
legally parked in a parking space on
You go
private
investigate
property.
them? So you do the same thing in the middle of the night?
Okay.
We do the same
I'm
thing
not gonna-
24/7
we're not
if we
arguing
get
this.
a call.
Will you comply with the field sobriety test or not?
Or what? Oh, I
Yes
remember
or
you
no?
at Flood?
Yes,
I
yes or
remember
no?
You, do you remember me, don't you?
No.
Yeah,
Yes
I
or
bet
no?
You do. Okay. Now I feel like this is harassment. Is there a supervisor available?
He
That's
is
me.
the
I'm the
supervisor.
Where's your supervisor?
He is the supervisor.
I am the
of
supervisor.
the
We had
shift.
this same conversation. Was that you? Were you there?
I don't believe so. I don't believe I've ever met you before.
I don't even know where I would have met you. It's yes or no? Yes or no?
See,
Yes or no?
You didn't understand what private property was when you were in an apartment complex. You thought that was public property. Do you remember that now?
Do you live
I
in this
say we
apartment
just-
complex?
No, he doesn't. I'm familiar. So I think we should just go to Mace County Jail.
I'm going to go to the county jail for.
Obstruction at this
Obstruction.
point.
All you want to do is sit and argue.
I'm not arguing.
He
I'm
was
asking-
intoxicated then.
No, I wasn't.
And that's what I feel like he's intoxicated now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be passed out behind the wheel of his
I
vehicle.
wasn't passed out. I was asleep. That's why I woke up and not. I told you I drove to this parking space to take a nap.
Code 4.
I'd like to speak to a supervisor.
He is
You
the
are speaking to
supervisor.
a
I'd like to
supervisor.
speak to your supervisor.
They're all out right now.
That's weird. That happens every time I want to speak to a supervisor.
There's one
You asked
supervisor
for my
assigned.
supervisor and he's right here.
There's
Yes,
one
there is
supervisor.
supervisor.
There's one
You
supervisor
don't just
assigned
keep
per
it-
shift. Okay, that's me.
Okay. So then, if
At
you're
6
the
o'clock
one-
this
if
afternoon,
you're
there
the
will
one
be a
that's-
different
if you're the one
supervisor
that's
here.
violating people's laws, then we're just all fucked.
I mean,
That's a
you don't.
conversation you can have with the judge.
You don't have a
if you-
constitutional right to speak to a supervisor anyway.
All right, but I
Okay.
have right under your department's policy.
No.
No.
No? Okay.
I'm trying to work with you here.
No, you're
We've
not.
tried. We've tried to ask you. You don't have a ticket in your hand.
Okay, so am I free to
You
go?
no. You've
Okay,
been
you're
asked if
threatening
you
me
will
with arrest
comply.
for sitting in the car, taking a nap when I told you I'm taking a nap because I'm too tired to drive. I had a little bit further to go, and I was tired, so I'm going to take a nap.
And you won't even tell me how
What does it say
far
in the
that is to
Oklahoma
go.
driver's manual to do when you become too tired to drive? It says you should keep on going, pull over somewhere safe to sleep.
Somewhere safe to sleep. I mean, I don't think that that's.
Where is somewhere safe?
I mean, legally parked, we could argue that, even though this isn't.
Legally.
We've gone over this and over this and over this. You're not even in a parking spot at all.
Either. I'm not in
You're
the
not
road.
in a parking spot.
Not
We
in the
got
road.
called here because of you specifically,
I'm not
and
in
this
the
truck
road.
specifically.
I'm not in the road.
You are in the easement. Look, if you look at that
It's not
sign
against
right
the law
there,
to park in the easement. The easement
and
goes all the way to the center line.
it's
of
still
those
city
locations.
property.
I'm
Let's
done.
Turn around.
Really?
Turn around.
For what?
Yes, turn around.
Dude,
Turn around. We're done. We tried.
you tried what? You tried
To reason with you, and you're unreasonable.
reason with me.
It's hard to reason with somebody who's intoxicated anyway, so that makes sense.
No indication of being intoxicated.
Well, we tried to give you the opportunity to show us that you're not intoxicated, and you just want to sit here and argue with us. Like I said, I'm not going to argue with you on the side of the road. We'll just.
You're making 0 sense.
Really, but I'm not. You can't tell me where the road begins and ends. But
We're
I'm
back
not
on that?
making
Is that
sense.
where we're back to? We're doing circles?
That's what you pulled me out of.
Hey, you have anything illegal on anything that's going to poke,
No,
stick, or
dude.
stab me? Anything that's going to be illegal? If it's considered contraband if you take it into a jail facility.
You can't.
I'm giving you the opportunity because once we get into the jail, they're going to search you, and it will be a felony charge.
Why would you? I don't have anything. No.
Okay, that's your opportunity. So if there is something, then we find it in the jail, and it'll be a felony. So,
I just said I don't have it. This is fucking bullshit.
well, you're not wrong about that.
Do you have anything in the vehicle you want to take with you?
Fucking kidding me, dude? In the middle of fucking moving.
All right, come on.
Whoa, you're gonna push me out in front of the vehicle? Holy shit. I'm
yeah.
scared now.
36
Is really what you're fucking doing? Because I couldn't fucking. Ah.
Have a seat right here. Be careful. Don't hit your knee on the computer mount. It hurts pretty bad.
God damn it, dude. This is fucking stupid, dude.
I
this
don't
make you
disagree with you.
What's the charge?
Obstruction.
Obstruction of what?
Obstructing me in the performance of my duties.
What duty?
I'm trying to perform an investigation here, and you won't answer any of my
I
questions.
answered every question you asked me.
Okay.
What question did I answer?
You didn't answer any of my questions. You just asked more questions and
No,
why
I
I
did
needed
not.
to know, and I
No,
tried to
I didn't.
explain
I
it to you.
answered all of your
So
questions.
we'll argue about it in court. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we will.
Tow it and I'll inventory it. Ask somebody here if it's free to stay. I mean, it's not in. It's partially in the
It's
city
partially in the
property.
so yeah.
I'll have Constantine meet you over there.
Okay. You have been arrested, and you are requested to submit to a test or tests to determine the presence and/or concentration of intoxicants in your body. The test will be a blood test. If a blood test is performed, it will be done by approved medical personnel under Oklahoma law. If you complete the state's test, you may have an additional test at your own expense. You are not entitled to consult with an attorney prior to making your decision to submit to the state's test. You may refuse the state's test, but as a consequence, your driving privileges will be revoked or denied. If you are 21 years of age or older and the test is .08 or more alcohol concentration, your driving privileges will be revoked or denied. If you are age 21, if you're under age 21 and the test result is .02 or more alcohol concentration, your driving privileges will be revoked or denied. Will you take the state's test? It's going to be a blood test.
It's gonna be what?
A blood test?
I don't understand. I can't talk to an attorney.
That's correct. This is the implied consent test
Yeah, I
request.
see what it says, but I don't understand. First of all, dude, this is a real. It's a dick move. First of all, I didn't do anything wrong. You know I'm not intoxicated. And
I don't know that you're not intoxicated. Okay. You have the option to submit to the state's test. I can read it to you again if you would like for more clarification. It's going to be a blood
It
test.
doesn't really clarify. I mean, what are?
This is the state law, and this is what I'm required to read you.
I understand.
Okay,
I
and you have
understand
the
that
right
you
to
don't
say
have-
that you will or you will not. I'll read it again if you'd like to hear it again.
So so my driving privileges were revoked if I refuse.
If you refuse. So
until when? I mean, that's what I'm.
I mean,
I'm just not understanding.
until you go through the court process and they determine.
Damn it. This is bullshit, dude.
Well, you've been arrested. Okay.
Well, I don't believe.
I don't think that you're. I don't feel that you're drinking alcohol, but I think you're under the influence of something.
Dude, really?
Yeah, I'm
when
thinking.
down there fucking slamming heroin. It's halfway between my house and home, or my house and work.
Some kind of drugs, pills, something.
Shit.
So.
I'm under the influence of owning a business and working more often than I fucking sleep. I'm trying to build a goddamn business here.
Okay. You want me to read this test again?
No, I'm good. No,
Or
I won't take it.
you will not take the state's test.
No.
Okay. 36 prior. If you would log down at this time, it says that has refused to take the state's test. All right, go ahead.
Come on out.
He had a hip pop up, but he doesn't have any warrants. I think he's got protective order or something like that. He was just arguing the whole time. He wouldn't tell me anything. Like,
I'll go out there and take a picture of it on your camera. You gotta be signed on for service.
I am signed on.
Not on your phone.
In this video, this is him fighting to get his driver's license, but in order for him to have his driver's license, they saying that he has to get an initial interlock, and he's not trying to do that because the charges got dropped.
Showing that you're enrolled in IDAP.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I have all the charges were dismissed.
Okay.
This is the initial.
So this is all the court proceedings. The court's not going to make a difference when it comes to the license suspension. Because this isn't, the suspension isn't because of the court conviction, it's because of the officer's affidavit.
So the officer's affidavit is what it's based on?
Mm-hmm. So even if the court, this is just the criminal side of things.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I have a demand letter here. You're more than welcome to read it. I don't know your position. It's for a supervisor.
Okay, let me take it. Somebody, hang on.
Okay. I've got a whole stack of further evidence also.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Hi.
How are you?
You signed up 8 times this morning. I've been here since 7 o'clock trying to call you.
Well, the first 3 of them were
I don't know where you were, but
accidental.
that's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay. Okay, so here's the scoop. I'm the compliance lead.
Okay.
All right, what happens? I'm going to use the terminology you hear on television all the time.
Yeah.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so what happens in court stays in court.
Okay.
The court can dismiss your paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
They do it all day long. Unfortunately, state law says that
What's your name?
It's Jessica. We can do
Last
nothing.
name?
Stanko. FT, no, it's not on here. Oh, well, it is, but it's here.
STAN.
And CO?
Okay.
I
Do you
don't
have an
believe.
email?
No, I wouldn't give that out. Mm-mm. All right,
Her
so.
name?
Oh, that's Rachel. But I'm
And
the
her
lead,
last
so.
name?
Huh?
And her last name?
Rachel?
Schultz.
Okay, yep, so state law, that came into effect November 1st of 2022, said that you have to participate in the IDAP program. You have no choice in the matter what.
I do have a choice.
No, you do not. But okay, then you can choose not to have a license.
Right.
That's it.
That's not how that's going to go.
Well, it is. It's actually how it's gonna go. Let's
It's
go talk
not.
to your legislator.
Unfortunately, we're going to be at GPS service now, and both of you individually
No,
into
we
the
can't.
lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. I'm an agent of the state. You can't do it.
I can.
Okay,
Like I
have a
said,
nice day.
an
Bye.
agent
See you
of the
later.
state
Have a
while
nice day.
in
Have a nice day.
while you're performing a duty of the state.
Have a nice day, sir.
See you in court.
And that's the end of that video. My take on that, just from the beginning, this officer was already nitpicking on what ticket to give this guy, because he kept telling his officer, what is it against the law to drool or sleep? And this officer started looking around and said, well, you know, you're partially in the roadway, which he really wasn't, like right here.
I mean, so the crime in that is you're partially obstructing the roadway.
That long pause that officer did just told me just enough. And one thing that definitely hurt these officers' feelings when he told them, like, I don't gotta answer none of y'all questions or comply. They both paused because they didn't know what to say, like right here.
So you can continue to obstruct our
So
investigation.
here's the thing. Let you
comply with your investigation.
You're not required to comply with our investigation?
I don't get how he's a supervisor. He keeps on stuttering like that. And then that's what his officer tries to use that trick of, you know, you could do some field sobriety tests. And this dude just straight up laughed because you already know what type of tricks officers play when they want you to do them field tests, like right here.
I can put you through a couple of standard field sobriety tests and see if you're good to drive. And if you are,
Go to the jail and we can do this in front of a
I mean,
judge.
yeah, I'm not-
and
Sure we
we can
could.
have that conversation there.
I'll tell you one thing, she really wanted to put him in jail because she kept on mentioning the jail like 3 times in his interaction. But that's my take on it though. Let me know what y'all think about the comment section. How you feel about the Pryor Creek police officers for arresting this dude all because he was sleeping in his car, just trying to be safe and not trying to fall asleep. And he just felt tired. It even says in the driver manual, if you feel tired, pull over. And that's exactly what he did. But for him doing that, these officers claim that he was intoxicated and decided to harass him. And for those of y'all that has been keeping up with the Rusty story with him getting falsely arrested by the Minnesota State Patrol officer Megan Bozer, and he recently just started his GoFundMe, and I will be leaving the link to his GoFundMe down in the description. And I just want to say thank you so much for those that have supported him thus far, and any more support is greatly appreciated. That's my take on it though. Let me know what y'all think about the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe, and y'all have a wonderful day.